Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxchair, on the show this evening as a one and only South Side and a legend that is the Bridgeman. Evening, boys.
Evening, Ox. Good to be on with a legend that is the Bridgeman. And it's, I'll say, a wee shout out to the troops that are on the YouTube channel already, going to join us on the show tonight, and to everybody else out there on Facebook land that's listening to the show.
Evening, Bridge.
Oh, good evening, Ox there, and then the South Side. Magic to be on with you too. And of course, the techie boys in the background, they'll look after us. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, I'm a very, very happy Bridgeman tonight. Very happy. Had a great weekend. Fantastic. Can I say this? Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Should we get him to explain his great weekend, Southside? What do you think?
Aye, I'm sure they can indulge your listeners.
The floor's all yours, Bridgeman. The floor's all yours.
I think everybody knows. Absolutely. In fact, I bet most of them feel the same as me.
Aye,
what a weekend. What a weekend.
Worse ones. Listen, Southside, a question, mate, a valid question for you. You went along to Kilmarnock, 8 o'clock Saturday night. Just give your honest assertion at the kick-off time as a fan going to the games, mate.
8 p.m. on a Saturday night, it's no good enough, mate. It's no practical for a lot of supporters. It's a Saturday night. You're used to 3 o'clock kick-offs. Certainly gives you a wee bit more if you're having a wee refreshment before you take the wee journey along to Kilmarnock. Then obviously it helps if there's a wee groupies and you're having a wee pre-match, but on the whole it just kills your Saturday night. By the time the game finishes, it's 10 o'clock, and the time you come back for Kilmarnock, you know, the game, your night's done. Should have been a 3 o'clock kick-off, to be honest, or at the worst you could maybe have made it the back of 4, but 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, I don't know where they're getting this for at all. And I think there'll be another few 8 o'clock kick-offs probably before the end of the season, but it's certainly no ideal, Ox, at all.
All right, mate, I'm just interested in your personal views, mate, that was all. You know, right, okay, we'll turn our attention to the game, if that's all right with you, two fine upstanding gentlemen. First of all, how are you, Southside? Never asked me how Bridge was. Happy. How are you?
Aye, good, mate. Aye, had a decent weekend myself. So
I'll go at you and tell the listeners the
no, certainly couldn't do that. But no, I had a good weekend myself, mate. And it's good to come on a Monday night and be able to talk about a Rangers victory after the last few weeks we've been on. It's been like a Monday night at the Samaritans. No, it's good that we can finally talk about a victory on one of the surfaces and down at Kilmarnock, where even better squads than this. We've not done so well. We've struggled in the past. And it is one of the grounds that you go to, half empty as well when you look around the stands.
Aye, what's your take on that, mate? How quick before they'll be offering away fan stroke us maybe an art team?
I don't know, Ox. They're continually doing it. They've got their wee sort of standing section up there, and I know they've put a disabled section in up there as well, but we used to get the other end. I think it's a Chadwick, I can't remember. That's what they call it. But we used to get two ends, and I know they used to say they didn't like it, some of their supporters, because it felt like a home game. But any business that doesn't want to fill their venue to capacity, it's beyond me. You know, they're losing a good bit of money. Hibs have done it. You've seen the state of Hibs and all, what they're doing. It's pathetic. And now Kilmarnock have been at it for a few seasons. They've took the other end off the away support for whatever reason only known to them. But they're certainly losing a few quid every time that we go to Kilmarnock box.
It's called forfeiture.
I don't understand it, mate. It's no good for marketing. It doesn't look good. It's costing ourselves money. Yeah, I mean, I don't get it personally. I don't know what your take on it, Bridges.
No, I don't get it either. I think you got when you're in there. I would imagine Southside's asking himself when he looks around, and here we've got two stands supposed to be full of them, the home support, and the two stands are half empty, if no 3/4. In fact, three stands half empty, and much the same with the Hibs and Hearts. They've done the same thing. So it's a deliberate act by them. They don't want to see the Rangers fans in their stadium. Remember what Clark says when we were beating them over there, and the Rangers fans weren't there one day, if you follow what I mean, because they cut it down and they was saying bye Rangers. Well, that's worked out well for them, I'll tell you. Worked out very well. I've no time for them, to be honest. I think it's scandalous what they're doing. I mean, even in Europe, you're supposed to leave so many tickets or so many seats available for people getting in from a visiting side. And I don't know how many thousand it is, but let's say it's 2,000 seats.
5% basically the rule, mate.
What's that, Bill?
5% basically.
5%. There you go. So that should be all over. So they're only allowed to keep 5% of the seats. The rest of it, is that right?
Yeah, but remember, if you use that rule of thumb, mate, they would only have to offer you about, what, 600 tickets?
Well, if they do that, then what are they going to do? It's just crazy. It's just mental. They've got to open it up. They've got to open it up.
Market the game, get the grounds full.
Yeah, absolutely.
Better atmosphere, better TV product. I don't understand it, Southside. I really don't.
See the kickoff at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
There's something sinister about that. That's wrong. In everybody's language, that's wrong. Just terrible. And I don't suppose they were getting anybody else other than Sky to take the game, irrespective of who it was at that time of night. But for some reason or other, the Rangers seem to be the blunt end of this, and it's terrible.
Well, I don't know if we can say that about a clock kickoffs. That's my first one. Other teams have had them, but
yeah.
I don't know if the TV deal is worth the inconvenience, Southside, if I'm honest.
No, it's no. Supporters are travelling from all over Britain, and obviously from across the water for games. And it's hard enough sometimes to get to games in the times, and then you make it 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. It's pretty poor, to be honest. But this is what the TV dictate the kick-off times, and have done for a long time. And it's just down to us to put up with it, and then you've got to make arrangements round about it to make sure you can get yourself there, which is unfortunate for a lot of us, because you were used to. It's bad enough 12 o'clock kick-offs at times and that, and then if you remember a good while back, we had the 6:05 kick-offs a way back, and now we're getting dictated to again. I don't know if we'll have another one or two. We might end up another game or two. I don't know. Other clubs have been affected by it as well. But 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, nah, it's not for me.
It's not right. It's just not right. That means you can't get the person cannot go out with his wife or whatever, his girlfriend, or even with his mate.
There's always a positive and everything.
Of course. I was trying to bite my tongue here.
But you're right. Traditionally, if you're talking about traditionally, it's a different thing altogether, you know what I mean? All right, we'll turn our attention now to the actual football. Listen, a tremendous victory. I think you pointed out Southside. Better teams than that have been down there and struggled. I'm not saying Kilmarnock are in any great shapes. Their form's not spectacular, but the surface is a leveller. I actually think we played better at Tannadice than we did on Saturday night. But there you go. If you take your chances, you win comfortably. When you see the result, I don't think it was there was such a gulf. I thought they competed well and had their moments. I think we could have scored more goals, and arguably did. But it's no classic on that surface, Southside, is it?
No, check your chat-ups. No, it's one of those stadiums, like you say, you usually need to grind out the result on that type of surface. Kilmarnock are used to it. They know how to play the surface. They train on it quite a lot, I believe, as well. And every time we go there with different squads, we've always got a group of players that seem to struggle on that surface, and it's a leveller for Kilmarnock, and it's probably how they pick up a lot of points throughout the season for playing at Rugby Park. But listen, we found a way to win, which we've been struggling. And the first goal that Majowski scores, he just sort of toes it in by the looks of it, and amongst players. And that was a good start for us, and it was a good bit for his confidence, obviously. But it's about finding a way to win on that surface. Your players don't slide tackle or anything like that. You might get the odd one where they forget and they might slide in, but on the whole, a lot of players don't. And the ball bounces different and all that. Everything's different about a plastic surface. And
how you run, Southside, how you run.
I mean, you look at unfortunately, we're pitting up with 3. I think it's 3 this year we've got in the league. We've had Livingston, who's improved their pitch, because that was absolutely terrible. And Falkirk, now, but it looks like Kilmarnock's got the worst one at the moment. But I'm hoping and I believe that next season they're done away with regardless. I know Falkirk's putting in a protest. It's that's Winnie's boy for SNP. It's his boy that's involved in Falkirk, and he's putting in he's putting a lot of stuff forward to try and keep the plastic pitches. But I know that they took a vote and they had to go for the start of next season. So, but it's just about finding a way to win on these sort of parts, to be honest.
By the way, we did also see how bad the officials are in Scottish football, because let's be honest, when the Kilmarnock boy ran through, he was 3 yards in his own half, and they gave him offside. Now, he ultimately missed the chance, but wow, they gave offside. What have they seen? Just what we're saying. What are they saying? And how bad are the officials, Bridgman?
Oh, like I don't know. I shouldn't say it, but
when I see the replay, I don't know about you. I was like, how can he be offside? He's 3 yards in his own half.
Yeah. I thought that, for instance, speaking of an offside, I thought the 4th goal that we scored, I thought when I initially saw the breakthrough and so on and so forth, I thought he'd get through and he got it and scored a smashing goal. And I totally disagreed with him. That was never offside until such things we saw the side on one, like the camera, and I thought, he just made it offside there. So, I can understand difficult decisions, being involved in difficult decisions myself a few times, but I think the officials in this country are nothing short of a joke. That's the truth.
We're saying that decision didn't go for us. I don't think you would have noticed it at the game, but the guy's ran for his own half outside. It's 3 yards, at least 3 yards onside.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd have picked up on that outside because of where you're sitting.
It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. The officialdom for the linesman. I don't know what he's looking at, to be honest. Fortunate for us and unfortunate for Kilmarnock. If they probably score and it'll go to VAR, it's a goal, because you could see clearly that he ran from his own half. That's how bad the officials are. That is how bad they are. And we've been on the end of some horrendous decisions and still had a horrendous decision before the game finished with our good friend, Mr. Clancy. But it's just how bad they are, and it's just subjectiveness and that. But to see a linesman who's looking across the line and somebody runs for their own half and then he flags them offside, they go back for offside. But it technically should have been a corner kick. It beggars belief, mate. Honestly, it just shows you how bad the referees are and the linesmen.
I've got sympathy with linesmen with a split call, mate. You know, when somebody moves and you run and you put the flag up and it looks as if somebody's 2 yards offside. You know, that's the movement, but that one wasn't even close. It wasn't even close, and that was against it. But there you go. Anyway, I was happy we took it. So Majowski gets a goal. I don't know if you could call it a toe poke. That's what he did, but it was a decent finish, Bridge, and hopefully that'll be the start of him maybe getting some confidence, mate.
Yeah, let's hope so. I've been waiting to see a wee shine from him, and we saw it at the weekend. I thought he'd played quite well, running and fetching, and just in general being a pest whenever he was not on the ball. So I thought he did very well. And to be honest, 2 goals he scored, two smashing goals for me. You know, through a crowd, you can't beat it. You know, unless of course it's a fabulous one of these worldies. But no, that's through a crowd getting 2 goals. I love it. Just love it. I think he's a smashing player for us. I hope we keep him. Unless we're £1 million, £100 million or something.
Well, he's your player, so hopefully this is the start of him scoring some goals for us, you know. But 2 good finishes, 2 difficult chances. He's took them. Hopefully gave him a bit of confidence. You know, looks as if he's the manager's go-to guy. So we'll see where it takes us, Southside. But good for any striker to start scoring goals, mate.
Aye, he gets yourself sort of positioned when Diamondi's sort of on the ground and he's trying to find a position. And it was in amongst players, and that, I thought it looked like a wee bit like a toe poke sort of idea. Just put your foot, just put your toe into it and try and get it through the ruck of players. It was about the only thing you could really do. There was no backlift in it. He was sort of standing for a sort of standing position. He's just trying to position himself when he sort of comes onto the ball. Different for his second goal. Second goal was like a 2-touch in the box. I think probably because he scored that sort of first goal and he's got the chance. It's a type of Majowski goal, the second goal that you'd seen him score before. And it was a 2-touch in the box. So it's good for his confidence. It was good for him. It's good for us. And that's what we need. We need our strikers getting into these positions and hopefully scoring and getting on the end of things. And he certainly did on Saturday night. I had a wee look because our good friend Billy had Majowski scored 2 goals against Dundee United. We had a few shekels on it, and typical on the Saturday night. I don't know if he had anything on it on Saturday, but it's always the same, innit? You look for him today at one game and then he comes back and does it in the second game. But listen, it's good for his confidence, Ox. It's good for us, and hopefully that will start him maybe on a wee run now. It's just about getting them chances and getting them in the positions. Something that we've been struggling with. So aye, it was good, and it's good to see him get 2, and hopefully many more going come the seasons moves on up. And you've seen a bridge. I think you've seen a bridge man there, Bridge.
It looks like it, yeah.
I'm talking about it. You're spot on. I'm up there, Bridgeman. Go back to the team selection.
Can we have that in writing, please?
Not for the first time I may add, Bridge. But what I will say is, obviously, Aaron started Tav, who had been reported had been ill. I couldn't understand how he was on the bench if he'd been ill. Couldn't understand how we brought him on when we did, if he'd been ill. But the bad news was during the game, Barjami went down, touching his hamstring. Hopefully they've caught it and it's just precautionary. So we wish him all the best. I've not picked up any details yet, but I hope it's not his hamstring, because obviously if it is, Bridge, 6 to 8 weeks minimum.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be no far off it. That's for sure. If it's an easy one, you know, if it's slightly difficult, then you're a long time. These things just don't go away. You need to watch yourself and get yourself nice and fit. But I just don't know about me. What do you call him? Barjami. I couldn't remember his name there. And you know, I'm no dead sure. He looks a really, really good player until somebody comes in and tackles him. I don't mean I've hit him or anything like that, but just somebody goes in to tackle him and he seems to try to burrow away and he doesn't get it and he forgets the ball and all that nonsense. However, I think he's the most experienced player we've got from a midfield perspective, and he's going to have to do it, no matter what happens.
He's going to be fit, mate. He's going to have to be fit, and that's a
Well,
big
of
chunk
course, he's. How long did it take for him to go off? When did he go off again?
Yeah, in about 30 minutes, I think.
30 minutes, aye.
I can check that out for you, but I think it was for about 30 minutes outside, wasn't it?
It's at least in the first half anyway.
Yeah.
He's a good player. He's a good player. He's got good vision. He's technically good. And if you can put a couple of more technical players around about him that will make the runs and run off the ball, he does work for your team. He does work for the team. And in the last couple of games, the one at Ibrox in the game at Tannadice, he was the sort of player when he came on and when he started up at Tannadice, he looked a better player on the park for large spells of the games. And he scored a good penalty, certainly smashed that in the net at Tannadice. So I like him. I just think we need a bit more out of him. Hopefully, as you say, it'll not be a long-term injury. To such, we seem to get hit with all the time, apart from Mikey Moore coming back quite quickly, because I thought originally they were saying he'd be out for a good while, and he's another player. If you get him on the park, you can get Bezrami on the park. You've got two football-type players there that can carry the ball and get you up the park hops.
Aye, I get it, mate. I get it. Right, if you two gentlemen don't mind, we can continue this conversation, but I want to get the phone lines open to see if people want to join us, yeah?
Go for it.
Yep.
Well, let's hear from these.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, come and join us, give your thoughts. Yeah, so we're in 1-0 at half time. Young Curtis getting the nod. He came on. I don't think he done a lot in the first half, but as the team improved in the second, I think we've been joined by, I think it's Joe's joined this evening. Joe.
All right, my man, how we doing?
All right, mate, good to hear from you, mate. What's on your mind?
Just came back to about 5 or 10 minutes there. You were talking about the refs. How much are they a joke, by the way?
How long?
Joe, don't tell lies.
How long have you got?
They bring in VAR and all this. 90% of the things they get right, but what's the point of bringing VAR in if you can't get them all right? You know what I mean?
I mean, the one we were talking about there, Joe, was actually the Kilmarnock player running for his own half, and they managed to get that. He must have been 3 yards onside, mate. 3 yards, and I don't know what they've seen to get. Yeah,
well,
it looks as if they've checked it out, mate. Yeah.
My wee pal Brian Gilchrist, he's big Rangers fan and all, man. He was saying to me just today there, he was saying to me, Chucky Allah, I'm on that fucking Celtic.
Good chat. Good effort, wasn't it, Southside? Good effort.
I feel that might have been coming there, but you take a wee gamble and they just make an ass of themselves, don't they? But it is what it is, isn't it?
Aye. Always a clue in the name, mate. Always a clue.
You're a shocker. Oh, boy.
Personally, I blame the schools. They'll not be happy with their new manager, Big Dons, eh?
Oh, God. That's terrible, isn't it? It really is terrible. You think themselves that with the recent things that are being said, and they pick somebody by a name like that. The name doesn't matter, of course. It's all he can do, but I think there's a lot of folk not interested in what he can do. I just think it's a terrible name.
Anyway, yeah. If they've not got their trouble to see on and off the park.
Yeah.
Right. So
I just never get it. I know it's an obsession, right? But I've never got this that you want to phone up a show and then shout something out, and then you're all proud of yourself. Go away and tell your pals, what I done. I was on there and I shouted that out. That's brilliant, isn't it? No, it's unbelievable, man. I don't know what gets through people's heads, mate. Honestly, I don't.
Don't even try, mate. Don't even try, mate. Right. So we're back to the game. So young Curtis come on. I don't think he was involved that much in the first half. I think the sort of half petered out. We started the second half quite bright. We played some decent stuff, got the second goal, and then young Curtis showed an appetite. What you can see with the boy, he's a simple football player, but what I mean with that, he's always just looking to get space and shoot. Yeah, he wants to shoot. And if you shoot and you can strike it, because what we've seen, you can strike a ball. All right, a couple of come off for players at the weekend, but the fact that he done that, no, I didn't think he was fantastic. And maybe he came off because he's not played a lot of football, and I know he just come on. Maybe that was he was only going to get an hour, and that's what he got roughly. And Mikey Moore come on and got the goal. So there was the positives and all that. We managed to get the 2 in 9 minutes, which I didn't think was possible. But we went 2-0 up. I felt there was a moment and a period when we stopped playing, if that makes sense. I thought that we maybe thought the game was won, and then you see I'll say the lack of concentration in Diamandi, mate. Again, well, it wasn't much of a foul, but he's caught, you can see it as clear as day on the TV coverage against Southside. I don't know if you've seen it since the game, mate. But for me, he started pulling him outside the box, so VAR can't hear it. Yeah, but the game's changed, and he has to, as a player all round, the boy has to smarten up, because he's turned into a wee bit of a liability. Sending half staff tackles, getting involved in stuff. Even in Saturday night, mate, he's no facing the ball defending. I just think if that's the way the new defensive set piece coach he's got is lining up, that really worries me. Yeah, just if you're not watching the ball, how can you defend if you're not getting an eye on the ball? You're almost likely to get a penalty. I've watched him. Diamandi was doing it, and I can't remember who replaced him. Similar things, I said. But Diamandi himself, he's just got to be smarter Southside. And then for that particular period, before we went and get the third goal, we just had fell out the game a wee bit, which disappointed me. Before that, we were playing some decent stuff.
Aye. I don't know what Diamandi's all about. He's been doing me niggly fouls and diving in and pulling and that, and listen, that was stupidity. I'll be honest. I thought that I gave a foul for an after ball incident, but seemingly the sort of rules have changed, and I know the cross got blocked at the time, and the boy Watson wouldn't have got in the box probably, or got on the end of anything from where he took him out, and he was trying to get in the box and the ball's blocked. But for me, it's just stupidity. And probably if it was up the other end, I'd have been looking for a foul box, but seemingly the rules have sort of changed slightly. Whatever it is, the interpretation of it is now. But to me, it felt like he just committed a foul off the ball at the edge of your box, started at the edge of the box, and then Watson sort of tried to carry into the box, but then he's let him go and he's fell down. Like you say, he's been poor for a number of weeks to hear Monday. It sounds like his concentration levels, like you say, no facing the ball, no doing this and that in certain games, has been poor. Never mind his passing and heading ability. But he's been niggly fouls and stuff that he gets involved in. He was the same at Tannadice when he came on up there. He pulled somebody as they were running by him, and he had a wee tug at him up there as well. So I don't know why he's brought that into his game. I've got no idea. But it's crept in the last 2 games, and he's, like you say, maybe they could have gave something at the edge of your box, but they never. And it is what it is, I suppose. But wish he'd just cut it out, Ox, because there's no need for that carry on, to be honest.
If you're going to have to do something like that, Southside, you should make sure you've got to do it for a reason. If no, you're giving referees an opportunity to make decisions against you, or particularly new VAR, if the referee doesn't see it, mate, and the cameras pick it up. It's changed the game, mate. You're not only trying to blindside the officials. We've all played the game and we've all done stuff in the blindside the officials. Well, I'm sure Bridge hasn't. I'm sure you know. Right. We've all done stuff. It's all part of the game, but at the top level, the game's changed. You've got to be smarter. And I just think that not just Diamandi, everybody's got to be smarter now. Because if you're defending, the attackers have got 2 bites of the cherry if there's a foul, so potentially that. And when you're defending, you've got to be smarter not to give decisions away, because you can get pulled up for something 5 minutes later when the ball's defended away and you think, oh, I've got away with that. The game's changed. And people, we can debate whether it's for the better or for the worse, Bridge, but it has changed.
Massively, massively. And can I just say, as far as Diamondi's concerned, we were speaking about him a wee bit last week. Well, not a wee bit, quite a long bit. But as Southside said, it's there. Southside's very fair and isn't quite as blunt in some instances as I am, for instance. And I think Diamondi wants to get pulled off by our manager, because he's a liability. He is a liability. There's no doubt about it. And you can see him pushing and pulling and all the rest of it. You can see all these wee things, and that's fine. Professional football's full of that, because the referee and the linesman, they've only got one set of eyes, and they can get away with it dead easy, particularly at corners and things like that. But in the middle of the park, no. And I actually cringe when I see Diamondi going in, and I've said this before, he always seems to go to ground to try and turn and get out. And I thought that was quaint to watch when he first came, but no, it grinds my teeth now. I just don't like it. I don't like what he's doing, and I thought he could easily have been sent off with the niggle and the goal, so when he was going on the pitch, dead easy. With that referee, 100% could happen. However, he's there, and we need to do something about that, and it's up to the manager and the coaches to get that, whatever it is, a bad side to his game, if that's what it is, then we need to get that sorted. We really do.
And get back to I think you mentioned the Butler one, Southside, when he's come out. And people have done an interpretation with that. My problem with that is what Conor Barron done to put the team under pressure. Conor Barron was arguably the best player on display on Saturday night. Arguably, people have different views. But he's got that in him, when he just, the backward pass, and he doesn't concentrate. Now, when he was trying to play it to Giga, or when he was putting it back to Butland, I don't know, only Conor will know. But he seemed to do it with that outside his boot, sort of blindly, just lazy, and he nearly caused, well, let's just say, nearly caused a moment where the team could have been under pressure, when we didn't have to be Southside.
No, he's got that in his game, isn't he, at times. I don't know if it's a lack of concentration or whatever, but he seems to sort of play these sort of wee passes here or there and puts other players into trouble. Like you say, whether it was going to Giga or whether he was trying to play it back to Butland, only he knows. But it was well short, and Butland had to come out to try and block it. And I don't know what you say, but he was having a decent game at that time, Barron. He gets involved. We know he lacks quality in certain things, but to me, it's just one of the wee mistakes that he's got in his game sometimes. We've watched him do it over the last wee while, and in certain games he's played the blind pass and all that, and no watching, and he's played the right, and players have went through and their goal and stuff. And again, on Saturday night, he's trying to play a pass that he's probably shouldn't be playing. We should be looking for another out ball. It shouldn't. The first thing I said is, I'm going to play this back the way, and we're trying to get players to forward think all the time, and make sure that we don't play as many back passes and putting players under pressure or into trouble. But he certainly put us into trouble on Saturday night, Ox.
All right, let's talk about another positive. Mikey Morecambe scored twice, one chopped off. Listen, I think he'll play a fair guy, and possibly a foul in Marine Hoff. Definitely no a foul in their Hoff as the big Fernandes is running through, like Beckenbauer, I may add. But because the guy's running and his leg catches you and you fall, it's not a foul, Bridge, is it?
Never in its life. Never in its life. Unless, of course, you meant to kick him, but no, never in its life. It's just a lot of things are utter nonsense because the Rangers, that's the main thing about this, giving the fouls away. So I liked big chunks of the game. I liked Fernandes. I liked what he was doing. I liked the two centre-halves, actually. But we always have that wee bit of panic stations in the defence, and obviously that needs to strengthen up. And maybe if you can keep these players playing at this level and getting better, the team starts to win, things might change, confidence gets up, and it could happen for them. And because at the moment they're quite, shall we say, scared. They look quite scared sometimes on the ball. But I thought Fernandes got into the other half quite a lot in the second half. And I think it's, shall we say, if I was a midfielder, not that I've ever been a midfielder, but if I was a midfielder, I'd have been raging, because he's running. The other night he ran 20, 30 yards into the opposition half and never released the ball. And he eventually released it, but I don't know if it was. Can't remember if it was a good pass or not. But I think that's wrong. He shouldn't be parading himself in the opposition half like that. For me, no.
I don't mind it, Bridge. I don't mind them, but I think that's when the team game kicks in. When you come out of position, you know, that's when somebody's got to have the foresight to go in and cover for you. Yeah, I don't mind it, mate. And if you've got the ball, you're in charge, you know. So, but then you've got to make the right decision when you release it, when you have a shot, when you pass it, or you put it out wide. And if he keeps going, well, you've got a 6'5" guy in the box, you know.
Absolutely.
I thought he was okay. Actually, bizarrely, Southside, just my opinion, people might see it different. I thought we were actually better at Tannadice. We're the piece. Played better stuff than we did at Kilmarnock when we won 3-0. Mental on it.
I think the surface has got a lot to do with that as well.
Maybe.
You know, and we did, although we were on the wrong end of the result, we played a better sort of game of football, created probably more chances at Tannadice, but we didn't get the 3 points. And then we get down to Kilmarnock. We come back with 3 points and we didn't play as well as what we did on the Wednesday night. So, you know, that's what sort of our season's been like. But Mikey Moore, the goalie, spins away for Lewis Mayo, I think it is, and drives forward with the ball carrying it. And it was a really good finish. And listen, I know we've not got any CEOs in that at the moment at the club, but maybe Fraser Thornton should come out, or the club should release a statement about the performance and the state of Clancy for that fourth goal. It's not acceptable. This is subjective. He's went out of the monitor to have a look. You know, the minute you went out of the monitor, you know what's coming. And it's disgraceful. It's getting beyond a joke. I thought VAR was to help the referees, and we've been on the end of some howlers, and we should highlight it. Our club should be highlighting this and saying, there again, we have got a goal disallowed due to the fact that a Kilmarnock players went down, the ball's been played, both of them are sort of running, there's been a wee coming to two, they weren't even looking at each other, they've just collided, and then suddenly we get a goal and then it gets disallowed. I agree. I think if subjectively there was a foul, it was probably at the very start in our half that they might have looked at it and thought, well, that might have been a foul, but even at that I'm not so sure. But certainly once he's went up the park and he's played the pass, and the boys went down, and then we score, to go back and look at it and then call it half, I think it's shocking, and I think the club should come out and make a statement and say we're absolutely sick and tired of this. These guys are unfit for purpose. They're not good at their job, let's be honest, they're hopeless. And VAR's there to help them and assist them. And as it's saying, is help and assist, chop goals off for us and us to be on the end of poor decisions. But then again, when you see the linesman that can't see an offside decision, and I've seen a few, they were making a big story in a headline about Jack Butland. That's what they were sort of moaning about after the game, and the next day I could hear a few mumbles.
Are you saying to me, Southside, they're trying to make a story because of things that happen elsewhere? Is that the point?
Well, it's always been a deflection tactic, isn't it?
Oh, see, you're too clever for me. Your mind works different for me. I would have never thought of that.
Are you saying? Are you all saying that was never even a debate for the referee? I didn't see a foul. I didn't see any foul at all. And I thought that guy, he ran into Butland, ran right through. Right, as far as I'm concerned, he ran right through, and Butland, woof, ball away. That's what I see. I might be blue blinkers on, but it's what I see. And for me, it was never even a debatable. But is it a foul? No, just go on with the game. It was a clash. So what?
I think in the modern game, Bridget, if it had been happened up the other end, I might have been looking for it. Right, I'm not saying it was I'd have to watch it back. I've only seen the game in the replay, but because of how the game panned out, I've not went back and looked at it. But at the time, my initial thoughts were he left. He got there as quick as he could. I don't think there was any intent, but I think he might have caught the ball. What I will say is, but look, it might have been a foul size. It might have been a yellow. Some people might have even thought it was a red. But I don't know the rules, because you're allowed to kick somebody in the head deliberately, I may add, deliberately. And that's not even a red card now. So I'm puzzled with the rules, you know what I mean?
Tav was behind Butland, so if Butland doesn't make it and he goes by Butland and Tav's there, he slightly, in the modern game, he slightly probably got a touch on the ball.
Aye.
A second before Butland gets there. He actually kicks it onto Butland. So at the real worst, I think you'd have looked at a yellow card for the goalkeeper. There's certainly no ascent and half. There's no intent, there's no malice. He certainly slightly caught him because he's kicked the ball off him, and then the two players have collided. But that was it. And I know I've heard all the best one I seen actually next day. Honestly, I had a wee look on YouTube the next day, and it was a hang up saying patterns of assistance to Rangers since Danny Rowe was the manager. You can imagine who put that up. No, it beggars belief. Honestly, I don't know what's in their heads, man. If that's what they think, you know. But
speaking back to Jack Butland, see some of the things that Bridge, you played centre half. His natural instinct is to go back on the line. There is times where I think he can go on his toes and make it easier for the defence. Just come out, clearing the ball. Occasionally, I think he can actually come and pick it up, if I'm honest.
Absolutely. I played with a lot of goalkeepers that were really up loved to be up that a couple of yards for the 18-yard line, because it allowed them to get back on line if they're going to try a big long chip, you know. But no, not outside the box, but they wouldn't do that. But the others like to stay run about the penalty spot to the 6-yard line, and then they can just walk back whenever they need to. But I don't think MD's going to complain about Jack Butland being a dirty player in any way, shape or form. Not for me, sorry, not for me. Dirty is half the things that team did on Saturday. Half the things that team did on Sunday, shocking tackles, booting, clawing back, all that going on, and Clancy he's let it go. Just terrible. It's a treatment the Rangers get.
But listen, we got the goals with Mikey Moore. Good to see him back. Good to see young Curtis get minutes. Unfortunately, for Jamie, I think the centre halves could be better with that game under their belt. Obviously, they're still raw. Aaron's got some minutes and plays in Tav. I still think that boys' reaction is to go backwards. Mike Holm done okay without being spectacular. Raskin was quiet. I think the pick up midfield was Connor Barron. And then we won the game 3-0. So it just shows you play well at Tannadice and should have won 6-2. You slightly down a notch away at Kilmarnock and you win 3-0. Funny old game, Southside.
It certainly is. The good thing is, it's at 5 wins out of 7 for Danny Rowe. So, you know, we just need to keep trying to pick up the points. It's one of the fixtures and one of the grounds that you go to. Like you said, we've came a cropper before with better teams and better squads. But we done the business on Saturday night, and you've got to be happy with it. We put 3 goals in. Should have been 4. But we put 3 in, and hopefully going forward we'll start to create chances and we'll start to score some more goals up. We've got a few tricky fixtures coming up, as we know, going forward, and you can only take one game at a time. But that's one. on Saturday night that some people might have thought where we might have dropped points after dropping points at Tannadice and that, and we weren't clever at home against Falkirk and stuff. And we got a win against Livingston, but we weren't clever either. So, but better performance on Wednesday, but we didn't get the points. We weren't as good on Saturday, but we pick up the points, and it's a funny old game, certainly.
Funny old game. I think my frustration in the last week has been the Falkirk game. I wasn't happy with the result on Wednesday night. We should have won the game. Arguably the best performance away from home this season and domestically. And maybe in Europe as well. We should have won the game quite comfortably, 2 each, flattered than D19. But the Falkirk game, because we were so flat, we were even flatter than we were on Saturday night. You know, with so little chances, so little goal effort, so little happening. So obviously, if you critique Bridge, you've got to give credit. So they've bounced back with 2 better performances than against Falkirk, but we've got to keep it going, improving, making their chances, and scoring more goals, mate.
Oh, absolutely. If they keep it going, I'll let them build a bit of momentum. Because they could turn around and say we have so many wins in there, we're getting our belt, so many draws, that kind of thing. And if they're goalless against us, you know, if they don't get scoring a goal against us, that builds up as well. So the wee things matter. And if you've got your forwards are scoring a goal or 2, then it's just wonderful. Wonderful. If it happens like that, it's brilliant. And that's what we need. We need Rangers to do the business, and it just builds confidence. If you can get your midfield players to play football, which midfielders are supposed to be able to do properly, like, you know, then can make a difference. Make a difference. Oh, confidence in everything. It's got to happen.
Confidence is a big factor, you know. Makes when you're confident, you seem to things come off for you. It's funny, but we're not kidding myself. On Southside, we know we will. We know we can improve. We know we need more bodies in. But a decent result of the weekend.
Aye, team squad needs help. Russell Martin built a squad to suit his sort of whatever style that was going to be. And Danny Rose having to come in and work magic and work a different style completely from what we were watching under Russell Martin. And we need types of players that can play the way Danny Rose wants us to play, because some of these players aren't very good at what they're doing and what he's asking them to do. But we need more quality and we need more help. And hopefully come the January transfer window, if he can keep them going along and we can keep picking up points, hopefully more 3 points than the draws of late, and it keeps us in the hunt. And then come January, I think and I believe that the board will splash out some cash, and hopefully we'll make the right signings, Ox, to help the squad.
That's the hardest thing, mate. You know, hardest thing. What was going on in football is now. A few weeks ago, last season, Liverpool supporters, it's a different level, but delighted to give a player a new contract. A player is proven, and now look what it's ended up. There ain't no guarantees when you sign new players, established players, international players. You know, you can only do your best and make sure you get guys in the right pedigree, fit your attitude, and hopefully they've got the skill and ability to go with that attitude. But if they've got something missing, if they've not got that attitude, they might have the skill and ability, but they'll maybe not make it for you, Prince. You know, recruitment's difficult in football, always has been.
Yeah, it's you know, sometimes football is tough. You know, I mean, seriously, yeah, no, I don't mean tough and dirty. I just mean it's a tough game for the fans. Sometimes you've got to admit we're not playing well, and we didn't expect. Well, it's better than we expected, and what things like that. We just don't want to be poor all the time. So I don't know. Come the new year, what the manager's going to do, if he's going to do anything, if he's going to be allowed to do anything. We just don't know. It's not going to be far away now. You know, you're talking 20 days, 3 weeks, something like that, and we're talking about it then. You know, so he's got a lot on his plate, but I don't know if he's got players in mind, or even as he's been asked. You know, you would think that they would know. They're going to allow.
Conversations going on, mate. who's available,
Yeah,
what your
that,
budget is, and also who's potentially going out the door. That's another thing.
that's another one. Yeah,
Because obviously you get people out the door, frees up their wages. If you get some revenue for transfers, you'll get more cash to maybe. It's a conundrum, Southside, and it's not an easy one to unpick.
No, even when you're going to extend players' contracts, it'll be there for a while when you're looking at the format they're in, and are they really going to be a year, 2, 3 years down the line, depending on what length of contract. And it's the same when you're trying to buy a player in. You're looking at his qualities and stuff, but you're hoping that he'll come in. We need players to come in and hit the ground running. We can't have people coming in and taking a while to adjust and find this team. We need players ready to go, and they've got to go the minute we bring them in. They've got to be ready. We can't be having a project or anything like that. I know we're linked with 1 or 2 players. I know we're linked to be a number 6. And maybe if he comes, he might be the right type of player that we need. But whoever we sign, they need to be ready to go. They need to be able to know what the club's all about. And Danny Rowe mentioned that. I heard him talk about in an interview that he understands that the next players that he brings in, they need to understand the club and understand the demands and make sure that they can handle that as a football player. So I think he knows the demands and what he's looking for, and hopefully when the time comes that we're signing these type of players, that they will come in and they'll hit the ground running, and they'll do a job for results.
Are you saying that they want somebody to come in that understands the club, plays in midfield, and has got the right attitude for their team? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's what he's alluded to.
Well, that makes perfect sense, because I've seen football boots my size put by. They might be tremendous.
Aye. Have you got good movement?
No.
No, aye. We just go stand middle of the park and just orchestrate it, aye.
Aye, that's something I saw the day in midfield. Hate to me. If you don't give the up, I hate you.
You're right, Chris. You're right.
There's more fights in the dressing room between midfielders than any other players.
You forgot about the moaning as well, Bridge.
I'll tell you.
I'm going to ask you two gentlemen, and look, I'll just change the subject, but great points you make there, Southside. Just, I'll ask you this now, but you can come back to it after the tune, right? You know, we're talking about bringing players in, yeah? So I know what Bridges' biggest signing was. I know, because he's told us before, but I'll ask you who your favourite signing was for the club. You'll have different ones, Southside, yeah? And then I'll ask you the complete opposite of that. Somebody come in and you thought was going to be good and they've underwhelmed you. Yeah? All right? Get it? If you like.
I get it. I get it.
I mean, if you were going to see the underwhelming this season, that'll take us to the end of the show, but somebody you thought was going to be good that never worked out. Right, okay, but look, mate, it's going to be difficult. Get the right players in. If we get 2, 3 first teamers in, mate, particularly people keep talking about the spine of our team, mate, and they improve our team, we can improve. Potentially, these 3 players could improve us by 20%, mate, if they're ready, oven ready, and they're ready to go, and they understand, and their form's all right. Because we brought in guys, and their form's been atrocious. Atrocious. And by the way, I think young Gassama is due as a performance. I didn't think he did another good game. I didn't think he was great, even though he helped us get the equaliser up there. But I think he's got to be, and I think he has to do more. He has to work harder. Yeah, if it's not working for you, the basics we look for in anybody is to work hard. Yeah, if you're not having a good game, you know, there's players that have not had the skill and we've loved them because they still give you that attitude, Bridgeman. But if you're not delivering, the basics is you work hard.
Yeah, you know, the fans will not tolerate it. They're just, if you've got all the fans saying you're rotten, you know, okay, some of them, because some fans might like the way you played football and you think you've got talent and so on and so forth. But you get times when all the fans just don't like you and it's just a wrong signing for you, you know, and you need to go somewhere. If you need to go, and sometimes that happens more than you think, you know. I think like Dessers, it turned out all the fans didn't like him, but he scored a lot of goals.
Wait a minute.
No, it turned out that like, he's a very popular man when he was going out the door. Let's put it that way.
There was somebody not too far away from you tonight, Rich, who had a different view for.
No, I'm not saying he was a rotten player. What I'm saying is he scored a lot of goals for us.
Aye.
And a lot of fans liked the way he did it. And then coming near the end, they just like to me, it seems like all of them says, well, he's better going. That's what I think, you know.
I would have sold Dessers based on a lot of things, right? The length of what he'd left in his contract and his age. Now, if you take Dessers' form and goal scoring return to what we've watched this season, he's Maradona side, isn't he?
Oh, sorry.
Listen, he could handle playing for Rangers for the abuse that he took, and he just kept coming back. Listen, we've seen it. Right, he missed a lot of chances at the start and stuff. He even went a run of games. I think he went 8 games without scoring a goal. But I'll tell you what, I would have Dessers leading my line before Chimiti and before Danilo. And probably at the moment, although Majovski's got 2 goals there, he could handle the physicality as well, Dessers. Theatrics, sometimes flying his cell about and stuff. But listen, if you look at all the 2 seasons he was here, his goal return isn't that bad, and it will stand there in time. As the next few seasons go on, it'll take quite a bit. It'll take somebody else a while to beat his goals in the last 2 seasons. Because at the moment, the 3 strikers that we've got between them will be lucky if they score as many as he did in one season. At the moment, so listen. But we'll say he wasn't the best striker we've ever watched. Natural finisher, no. Was he instinctive? No. But listen, he beat himself about. He always got into the goal scoring positions.
Moments of brilliance.
Listen, he did as well. That goal at Tannadice, when the volley, the goal down at Old Trafford.
The one he passed in at Easter Road.
And the one he done at Easter Road, aye. He had some really good finishes.
Real Betis when we were all mouth.
Aye, yep. So he had good moments in a jersey, and he came up with some big goals. But it's like anything. I can imagine what's coming on tonight. But aye, listen, we are where we are with strikers, and listen, we'll probably have to go and get another striker, whether it be in the summer, because we will have to replace Danilo, I would think. I think he's another one that will probably have to go in time. If it's no January, it'll need to be in the summer. And obviously the jury's still out with Chimiti, and going forward that will depend. But listen, we're not going to recoup our money, I don't think, back now for what we've shelled out. So we might have to keep him and try and see if he can play his way into form and start scoring goals regular.
Do you see it? You're very positive with players. As we sit at the moment, do you see that happening?
Well, I see him playing them in Europe and stuff like he had been doing. I kept saying he'll start Chimiti, and in the games that we turned up in Europe, he started, which didn't surprise me because we needed a physical presence. I thought the chance he had at Tannadice, although I was in that long stone, I wasn't behind the goal, and that night I was in that Jerry Kerr stand. I thought when the cross came in, I thought, oh, here, just stick your head on it and it's a goal. And he was never near it, which disappointed me. And he doesn't look like a natural finisher either. No. But listen, we've shelled out money, and we probably need to keep playing him when given a chance, because we can't burn out Majovski playing week in, week out, and he will only play week in, week out. No. So Chimiti will come back into the squad and into the team and play. You just hope he starts to find the back of the net somehow else.
Confidence, you never know. Listen, we're going to have a tune, and this is requested tonight's caller, Joe.
I hear the takes are cheating. I hear they run the GCC. I hear the titles are tainted. And I hear because we're bits and true, and we're Rangers through and through. We all knew Big Jock knew. I hear they try to hide the story. I hear to this day they still deny. I hear it's swept beneath the carpet. We all know the Tigs were born a lie, because we're bits and true, and we're Rangers through and through. We all knew Big Jock knew. Tell your story, then maybe you'll sleep at night. Why don't they pay the victims money? But then I don't suppose that's right, because we're bits and true, and we're Rangers through and through. We all knew Big Jock knew, because we're bits and true, and we're Rangers through and through. We all knew Big Jock knew.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that number, Southside.
That was nice of me to put a request in. Nobody's usually obliged.
Oh, Glenn Michael's cavalcade. Glenn Michael's cavalcade, yeah. Did he not get done at all? Oh, I noticed somebody was calling you grumpy today. Was that one of the other divorce papers having a go at you?
Aye, they wanna. Some of that stuff that goes out there, man, it's shocking. You know, you need to control yourself.
But you put in was all your own thoughts, was it?
Aye, always main thoughts, mate. Always.
All right, mate. Just asking, mate. I'm curious, mate. You know I don't get involved.
Aye, I noticed that. No, not very often. Nah, you always keep your powder dry.
Yes. Yeah. I'm very, 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 very particular who I debate with, mate. You know that.
I know, imagine saying I was grumpy this afternoon, and that disappointed me, I know, but okay, well, people have their opinions.
We're only looking for 5 more divorce for the pantomime, mate. Yep. Yeah, dear. Listen, look, we're a wee bit critical of the team at times, and because we're getting an honest critique. I don't think down dear Monday. I don't think he's played well all season. I don't know if it's his position. I don't know if he wants to play when he played next to Ratson or asking me to play him one for or forward. I don't know if he's got that string in his bow. The way I watched him, mate, I think he's like in a 4-3-3 and he'd be playing on the left-hand side of midfield, mate. That's what I see, and we don't often play that position, so I don't know that setup, so I don't know what he's going to offer going forward. I don't think he's a number 10, and I don't think he's a part of two sitters. Just the way I see it, mate.
Need to play. You want to just find a standard and a consistency level for him, but you'll mix the system up slightly a wee bit down the row, and probably in a 4-3-3 just left. But like I say, it's down to sort of how we fit it, how we fit the system in, and what we want them to do. But listen, we're just looking for a bit of consistency. Also, you want them to be consistent. Whoever plays in that midfield, you need a bit of consistency. You need them to find decent levels of form. No point having a good game here and there and then be off it for a couple of weeks. You need to be consistent, and we need performance levels. You need great chances and assist. But whatever structure Daniel picks going forward and whatever style, whoever's in that midfield, they just need to fit in Ox and do the job that we're hoping that they'll do. That's what we're looking for.
I get it, mate. I don't know if he's how do I put this without being overcritical of Diamondi, who has had some decent games. I don't think he's reached the standards required this season. There you go. Pick my words wisely.
No, he's miles off it that way. Miles off it. Like I say, you're surprised that he got a start, but for some reason he keeps finding his way in the team, where he comes on as a sub. I mean, I wouldn't have had him on at Tannadice. I wouldn't have brought him on. And yet again, there we get down to Kilmarnock and he's starting. So for some reason, it gives you energy. You know what he sort of gives you, but it's not a good passer at the ball. And as you alluded to before and said, he can't head the ball. He's never looks like he's got the ball under control. He'll work hard in European games. Last year he was really good. This year he's been sent off twice. You know, he's pulling players off the ball and niggly wee fouls. And he should be concentrating on his game, driving the team forward, creating and getting on the score sheet. You'd expect somebody like Diamondi should be capable, because he's not playing as the deep line six. You think he should be able to contribute at least 8 to 10 goals in a season for you. Surely,
close.
No, he hardly has a shot at goal. Ox. I mean, he's no really getting on the end of things in that, like he did when he first came to the club. But maybe it's just the style that we're playing. But he should be assisting a lot more as well. He should be putting players through with assists and stuff. But hopefully, you can only hope that before he goes away in this AFCON thing, that he contributes. Because I'll be honest, I don't think we'll really miss him once he goes there, because he's not been a standout since the start of the season for us or anything like that.
No, I don't think he's kicked the ball this season. Right, before I go back to this team, hopefully we get some callers joining us, but I just want you and Bridgeman, right, I'll go to Bridge second. So Southside, who was your favourite signing when he walked in the door? Yeah, we'll not go back. We'll not just use January, but we'll use your favourite when he walked in the door.
Just in recent times.
But forever, mate, you can go back.
Oh, forever?
I
wasn't.
But you know, anybody, you.
I'll come back to me in a minute. I'll need to think. I was just thinking back just of recent times there, but
He's your recent one then.
Even back. I like. There's a few could come in. We've had a few come in, and you think, will they do a job in that, and they turn out to be a decent player.
I'm not talking about value for cash. I'm just talking about your favourite. You know, but your favourite. I
must admit, I liked Mark Walters when back in the day. I liked wingers, and I like my winger to go on the ball, and I like them to go and commit defenders.
Yeah.
Entertainer, go and commit. And score goals. And Mark Walters scored a lot of goals for us over the period of time he was here, and he scored a lot of big goals. And I used to think back when I thought back to it, and I thought the three teams that absolutely hounded him with the racism at the time was Celtic, Dundee United and Hearts. And if you probably look back in his time at Rangers, he scored a lot of goals against them after a period of time when he was in a Rangers jersey, and he had a lot of good games in the fixtures. And they were the three clubs that disgracefully absolutely abused him when he first came up here as a football player.
Remember his skill at Hearts, mate, and his debut?
Aye, the wee hang when he left him on the halfway line, the wee double shuffle. And listen, Mark Walters was too fitted. He had the wee shuffle, and listen, he scored goals, and we could go and attack players and take them on and beat 2 and 3 at a time at times. And and I liked Mark Walters as a
Good friend of
football
the show,
player.
mate. We've had him on
Aye.
the show.
Mhm.
We've had him on.
But I never knew a lot about him before he came up, you know. But certainly in his time at Rangers when he came up, he certainly done the business for us. And I enjoyed watching him in the time he was here. Ops.
All right, fair enough, mate. Bridgeman, I think I know your. I think I know yours. Your favourite.
My favourite Rangers player at signed was the man for Raith Rovers, Jim Baxter. The greatest ever, for sure. 17,500 quid, I think it was. What a player. What a star. However, I think that my other one was a real favourite as well, Colin Steen. Oh my God, I just adored him. You want to go to modern days?
I go there. He's your modern day, mate.
Gaza.
Right, okay.
Gaza.
Right,
Ryan
so
Laidlaw, you know.
the point we were trying to make was know your favourite Southside.
No.
Who underwhelmed you? Who did you feel was...
Underwhelmed me. Here we go.
Who was, I thought, he'll do a job for us, and he just wasn't close to it. Southside. There's been others, by the
way. Where do you start? Is it a centre back? Is it a midfielder? Is it a striker? You know. I remember when we signed. I'll go back. It's going back a wee bit of time. I know. Maybe thinking of somebody, maybe future. But remember when we signed Ian Ferguson for Dundee, Cammy Fraser deal, if you remember. And Ian Ferguson at that time was scoring a lot of goals at Dundee, and he came to us, and he scored the odd goal here and there, but he never ever hit the
one in the
form.
League Cup final, didn't he?
He scored against Inter Milan and I'm sure at Ibrox, didn't he? In Europe. Did he not get two that night, maybe? Can't remember. A long time ago, but he was a player I remember when he first came in. I thought, well, he might. Obviously, goal scorers don't lose the knack of scoring goals. I've always said that. If you're a natural goal scorer, you will score goals. I mean, look at Boyd when we signed Chris Boyd. Chris Boyd was scoring goals and he came to Rangers and he continued it. If you give him the chances, players like that will always score goals. Strikers will always score goals if they're a natural striker. He was one, obviously, that I thought might have been on. Marco Negri, I think, would have been if he hadn't took the eye injury. I think as a goal scorer and watching the amount of goals that Marco Negri scored when he came, all different types of goals, and you look at the run he was on, and then till that eye injury, I thought he'd have probably broke a record that season, the way he was going up to Christmas, you know, even scoring 4 and 5.
You couldn't say you were underwhelmed with Marco Negri?
No, but...
was it the injury, but no underwhelmed?
No, he was a phenomenal goal scorer and all. Just when I was thinking about goal scorers, there's been a lot of players that have came in and achieved talks over the years. That you thought you might have kicked on, but it's the size of the club with pressure, and sometimes it gets to players. And a lot of former players have said that some players arrive at the club with a reputation or whatever, but they struggle when they walk through the door to play. Theo Snelders is one. He came, I thought Snelders was a good goalkeeper, but when he came to Rangers, he was miles off it. But what I watched him when he first came, another one that couldn't handle. I mean, that other boy Webster that came for Hearts, he was another one under Walter. When Walter signed him, he just hardly kicked a ball for us, and yet once his contract was up, we went away and played again.
Paul Ritchie. Remember?
Another one that came for Hearts, wasn't it? Aye. It's weird. But, aye. If I thought about it, I'll maybe have another think as we're talking on the show and come up with something, another couple.
Who was your biggest disappointment? No in life.
In life? No. From a footballing perspective, the latest one for me, and it was not that long ago, Joey Barton. I thought Joey Barton was going to come up and he was going to do some great things for Rangers. What a dud. What a dud he turned out to be. An absolute hee-haw, major disappointment to all the fans, I think. I don't think there was any Rangers fans thought he was any good. I'm not saying he was a crappy player. He probably was a crappy player, let's put it right, you know. But a major disappointment to Rangers, a major disappointment. What do you think of that?
Wow, left field, mate, I never seen that coming, but I would struggle to argue with you, mate. I mean, that was when Warburton signed Cranchar and Barton. On theory, somebody who's a worker and somebody who's skilled. But if the two of them can't run, you're not going to be able to play. And we signed two players that couldn't run. Yeah, I get it, mate. And plus, we throw in Barton's, if you like, public persona, mate. There's a fit that should have never happened. He should have never have been at our club and never had the pleasure of signing for Glasgow Rangers. You know, just my take on it. Aye, good shout, Bridge. Good shout. You know, there
has been many, as
of course, mate. You know, we're not saying that they're bad people or it's just no work to it. You know, listen, one of the ones that I thought, and he scored a wonderful goal against them, and it was injury. A guy that came in, and I thought top drawer, and if he is a run playing for us, he'll improve our team. Was Jonas Term. I'd watched him in the past play for us, and he just
he looked great. Scored a cracking goal as well for us.
And then he just obviously injuries. You know, it never worked out. You know, so people that you think, well, this could be potentially take us to next level. It never worked. Suppose the one that people will look at is, which might have been mentioned, Tory Andrew Fo. Some people will look at that as well. Southside, you know. Fo's goal score record was okay, but pound for goal it wasn't great, even though we got a big chunky money back on him.
Aye, Toronto Fo, aye. His goals per game ratio is decent, but like you say, there's loads of, he's another one. Ian Black was another one we should never have signed. He's another one, I can't believe we signed him.
The painter.
Kevin Kyle's up there, another one.
God,
should never get in the door. John Daly, another one that shouldn't get in the door. No, honking. Probably again thinking back to that time and all when we're doing there, Templeton never really kicked on. He was a disappointment. I mean, he was decent at Hearts. It seems to be these Hearts players that turn up and don't actually kick on. We were talking about Richie and the other one you mentioned earlier on, but Templeton was another one. I thought we was maybe have kicked on when he got here. Played with injury, I think, and stuff like that or whatever, but he never kicked on either. And he was a winger. And I like wingers. I like seeing my wingers go and commit players and take players on, and they create that. And you need good wingers. We've always had good wingers over the years. There's been a lot of good players have contributed for the wing, for the club. But we Templeton didn't really kick on at that time when we had him at the club.
I think Mr. Fox, if you don't mind, I think he's going to come in with his two. He's just going to pop in with his two, and these are two good ones, really good ones. Mr. Fox, if you don't mind jumping in and just squeeze your two, then you can depart the scene.
Ray Wilkins, who was pure class before he came to Rangers and didn't disappoint me. He was absolute class when he did come here. Biggest disappointment, Aaron Ramsey.
Aye. Don't mention that guy's name to me, please, sir. Thanks, Fox. Thanks for cheering us up, mate. I can't argue with that one neither.
No.
Oh, I get it, mate. Big reputation. And sometimes we didn't know he was on the pitch, and obviously he managed to miss strike a ball when he'd been brought on specialty depth for 12 yards. I'll never forgive him. Never, ever.
You can go. You can find them all over the place. You can.
Yeah. Aye, there we go. We just digressed a bit. You could go on all night. That could be a show on its own, Southside, couldn't it?
Absolutely.
You could pick a Rangers. If you'd pick a Rangers 11 that didn't cut the mustard in a jersey, there's a couple of goalkeepers in there and all you could start with. But it's some players can come and have a career, and some grow into it and that. And I mean, if we're talking like Big Fernandez at the back there. He's not had a snifter all season, and he's been flung in beside Giga. We paid £3.5 million. He's the right height, as Bridge says. He wants his big centre backs. He's got a wee bit of football ability in him. I still think he plays on the left, but he's predominantly right-footed. Because I've watched him a few times, and
his run up the park was on the right.
Aye. So, like I say, and hoping he'll grow into becoming a regular in time. We will have the odd mistake in him. We're trying to grow him into being a player and probably if he had a bit more experience beside him to help him, it might make him and grow him quicker as a player. I think we've got a caller in.
I will have it. So Bob Jair's joined this evening. Bob Jair.
Good evening, lads. How all this evening?
All the better for hearing your dulcet tones.
Oh, that's fine. Here I am, complete with flu jab. Yesterday, I thought we jail a wee bit. Saturday, sorry, I was just going to say that, Hawks. Saturday, we got out of jail a wee bit with the Dear Monday one. I thought he pulled the boy's jersey. I thought it was inside the box, outside. I'm looking at ref watch now. And he would have been quite within his rights to give a penalty. And the minister appeared.
Listen, I think all three of us agreed it was a crazy decision by Diamandi Bob Jair, and we questioned his attitude all season, mate.
Oh, he's becoming a disciplinary than a liability. That's twice in Europe, and he could have walked on Saturday. And he's not exactly playing at his best, is he? I like Diamandi. He's a good player, but he's need to concentrate more on his game than pulling shots and making his move going, whatever he's been doing all season. But he was a lucky boy on Saturday, which means the team was lucky. The Butland gent, no. It was 50-50 and Butland won it. These things happen in the game. Connor Barn, try and concentrate a bit more, son, on the back pass. I heard he's talking about it earlier on, and he's right enough. Had a good game. He put his cell about. He's a good player, Connor Barn. I like him. He's always busy, always trying his hair out for the team. But if you're going to pass the ball into a danger area, try and concentrate a wee bit more.
He done it twice in 5 minutes, Bob. He done it twice in 5 minutes. He done that pass out in the wing. He tried to do the drag back and the flick inside and proceeded to send them on their way in an attack.
Aye.
He's got
but overall, we did deserve to win, Ox.
Aye.
Overall, we did deserve to win. There was no doubt about that. And, so it was good to get a satisfying 3-0 result away from him, which in my mind should have been 4-0. If they stopped big laddies bumping into one another on a football park, then we've got a problem. But, well done, Rangers. Let's hope it's a starting point again, eh? And Bojan Majorski, I'm grateful for you, pal.
Southside, and you come, mate.
Aye, Bob Jair, I think it would happened up the other end. I think I've been looking for a foul outside the box, but Diamandi's been honking, mate, for most of the season. He's no been doing it, and he should be. He's been here a long time. Bob Jair, he knows what the club's about. His performances should be a lot better. He's let us down in Europe twice already. He was suspended twice last season and all. Missed a game at Manchester, where in Europe he'd been really good for us. But in the league games, I think he's been pretty poor. Doesn't he control the ball well? Can he pass a ball decent? Can he header a ball? Doesn't he score enough goals? And he's there, and listen, I would get rid of him whenever. I don't know who wants him or whatever, but if he's a good AFCON or something like that, or the Christmas and New Year period, maybe somebody might want to come in and get him and we offload him, because I think we need to do an upgrade on him straight away. Listen, Majorski got a couple of goals, good for his confidence, Bob Jair. That's what we needed. We talked about it earlier. We had a better performance on Wednesday night against Dundee United, but we didn't get the points that we did have against Kilmarnock. And we walk away with the points. It was good to see Mikey Moore come back and go on the score sheet. I think we all feared they might boot for a lot longer. It's not often we get players back quite quickly for injury. We've got Bajrami. Hopefully he'll no boot too long term. If he's got a hamstring, hopefully no. Might have just been a wee tweak in maybe a week or two, and we might see him back. We need to try and keep the football players on the park, guys that can go and influence a game and read a game. And if you've got them on the park, it helps us. But we do need reinforcements in January, Bob, Jer. I think the club will buy some players. Whether we get rid of some or no, I don't know, but we still need reinforcements to help this squad, and hopefully we'll just keep ticking along and hopefully keep the wins coming. Really hard fixtures coming up, but hopefully Bob Jer will just keep winning and get us to January, and then hopefully when we can sign the players are ready to come in and make a difference straight away. Can he bring a player? We don't want any players coming in at the end of the transfer window. We want them hopefully coming in straight away at the start, and if we can get a new player or two starting against them in East End of the City on the 3rd of January that are ready to start then and help this team, then that would do for me as well, mate.
I would do me as well. I think I'm in your camp, so I think Diamandi's time at Rangers is up. Definitely, he's no produced this year, the boy. Like you said, and if we can get somebody in there in that position, that's an upgrade on him, then great. And by Rami, you've been showing it. He is not a bad player, the boy, and if Roll can get a 2-0, that's all the better for the team. As you say, I didn't want to use a term like limp towards January. I wanted to keep winning going towards January. A couple of hard games coming up, but they're all hard, so it's made it all the more infuriating yesterday's result, when if we'd have won at Dundee, well, we were right back in the mix. We still are back in the mix, but we could have been better, But it's still all doom and gloom. It's a bit more a cheerier show tonight than it was the last week. But
but they won the Bob Jer, because that performance, let's be honest, it was to go away from home and win 3-0. No play,
that's always good.
Chalk it off. You move past the pitch, chalk it off. You move on. The performance against Falkirk at home was a moment. So you've got to be honest and say it how it is, mate. You can't say we played really well and we're unlucky, but we were appalling. We were appalling against Falkirk.
Oh, I know. I mean, did I mention the Falkirk game? No, we were terrible. We were terrible against Livingston. We were the two games that we were expected to win comfortably. We were absolutely terrible in the two of them. But if we can get a bit of fluency going, a bit of rhythm going on the team, and get people in January that improves things, well, it's all the good, I heard you talking about favourite signings earlier on. My favourite signing is going to be Brian Laudrup. Got to be. And my hero, my all-time hero, was the great Jim Baxter. Unsurpassed.
There was a second caveat to that question, Bob. Your biggest letdown.
There was a what?
There was a second caveat to the question. Who was your biggest letdown as a signing?
Oh, there was a few of them. Salenko. Salenko. I all like Salenko. I think he scored half a dozen goals in a World Cup tie. Rangers signed up.
5 goals in one game, mate.
And then Rangers signed up looking for big things for the boy. Maybe he didn't settle. Alexei Mikhailichenko to an extent. I didn't think he's sort of a set the other one player, but he was part of a really good team, there's been too numerous to mention. Mel Sterland, there you go. That was one. That was
only raised for weeks, mate. It was only raised for weeks. Scored. It wasn't raised long, mate. Scored 2 goals when we won the league. I think that was against Hearts. A bonus point for who could get the other 2 goal scorers that day. Southside.
What game? I was thinking that's Dolly Stensas when you were talking. What game? What game are you talking about?
When Mel Sterling scored 2 when we won the league against Hearts.
Hamilton.
Hearts. Oh, check it out for you, Bob Jer.
Jan Bartham was another one that came to mind, fullback.
Sebastian Rosenthal.
Injuries.
Oleg Salenko was a good shout because he came for the World Cup, didn't he? He played in the World Cup or something.
I think that's some of my frustration this year, Southside. See the boy Rothwell, I didn't think he was going to be a world beater. What I thought he was going to be was an experienced pro that would organise this, and he's been a letdown, really. I know he wasn't a major signing, somebody we brought in the door. But really, when we started watching them, and he couldn't get through an hour, never mind 90 minutes. It was appalling.
Aye. I think when you talk about favourite players there as well, Rothwell, Rothwell should have done, like I say, he got the experience. Seemingly he was a number 8, and you've heard former players talk about him and say he was really quick and rapid, and when he came on and played at Leeds when he was playing and contributing to them getting promotion, he wasn't playing as a deep line 6, but Russell Martin was trying to play him. And since then, Danny Rowell's not had him really available. When he has been available, he's been on the bench. So going forward, it'll be interesting to see if he makes any squads. But I think when you talk about favourite players, now I think you talk about Gascoignes and Laudrups, I mean they speak for themselves. You know, you'd expect them to come in. Richard Gough was one for me. Richard Gough, I loved Richard Gough as a player. He epitomised everything you want in your centre back. He was brave, he was heartly, he was fearless. He demanded the best. He led by example. Big Richard Gough. John Brown, obviously another one who came in for Dundee, was a midfielder, and then we made him into a sort of centre back, left midfield. Big Brown, big bomber, would play anywhere for you, but all heart and desire. But no as cultured football player as like a Richard Gough, Terry Butcher when he came in. You know, Butcher, there's another one you expect to have the quality levels and be that type of player. But big Richard Gough, I thought he was phenomenal. And I think he led by example all the way through his time at Glasgow Rangers.
Ray Wilkins.
Aye, Fox mentioned him, mate. Fox mentioned it. If you're talking about somebody we came in, we brought him in on loan, and I thought he was a fabulous footballer. I've made it quite clear in his 2 stints for the club. I thought Stephen Davis was a marvellous player for us, and we because of what happened to us, we missed out seeing him in his peak powers. You know, I thought he was a great player, and I think he would have spent his whole career, if I'm honest. I think he would have spent his whole career with us. Because he just adored the club. But it's all about opinions, about how people see players and that, and how you feel. And I'm just trying to check that out. Mr. Fox is not. I think he may have got the answer. But aye, look.
Stephen Davis was a fabulous servant for Rangers.
Richard Gough, he was a British transfer record, I think, when Souness signed him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it was about $1.5 million. I think so. I'm saying this off of memory. So you put that into perspective in the modern day, look at the money you'd be spending for a top defender, mate. It just shows you how good Gough was at the time, Southside, didn't it?
Aye, I mean, he'd come on for when he was at Dundee United, and we tried to get him, obviously, when he went down to Tottenham, because Jim McLean wouldn't sell us him. And I thought Big Richard was colossal. You know, he tremendous player. He always flung his body in front of everything, you know, and always led by example, and was a leader. He was a leader of the club. He led the team by example. And same as Barry. When Barry came in, young boy came in, and Advocat gave him his chance. Barry had the will to win. He had everything about him. And he came into the team, and it's famously to tell Arthur Newman and all that, listen, you're at Rangers now, you can forget what you've done at international level. You need to start proving it here, and start to do the business and that. And he was another one that typified that he led by example and the will to win. You know, you need these type of players in your team, and that's what we've been lacking. We're lacking. Take the skill levels away, the ability, just the leadership, the will to win, in certain standards and demands. And since Steven Gerrard left, we've went downhill.
Also had the physicality. Yeah, they all had the physicality, mate. The guys you've talked to come into the team, they could do. That's Gough. Yeah, you mentioned loads of them. Even to Walters, wasn't a shrinking violet. Your player as a winger, mate. they all could look after themselves. We signed a lot of players this season who weren't ready for the rigours of playing 3 games a week with the pressure on them and the physicality of the league. It's atrocious, and we're paying a price for it. And it's remarkable where we're actually sitting, because we know how poor we've been. You know, I think we've been joined by Ross. Evening, Ross. Evening, Ross. Oh, he's not with us.
What about the 2 Terrys? What about the 2 Terrys?
On you go, Bridge.
2 Terrys, Terry Butcher and Terry Hurlock. I thought they were fabulous players for us. Fearless animals. Loved it. Every minute. Really good players for us. Really good players. You're not going to sign 2 players like that very often, are you?
Can I say something on his behalf, Bridge?
Oh, Pago, of course.
Terry Hurlock was viewed as a hard man, hard tackler in midfield, and he was. I'll tell you one thing, Terry Hurlock was a much better footballer than he was given credit for. I will say that. I thought he was a really good footballer, Terry Hurlock. He had the combination of being a hard man as well. Aye, great signing. Brilliant signing.
I genuinely
kept himself under a bushel.
Aye.
I genuinely believe you don't have a good team without a ball winner in it. I think you need a ball winner. And Terry Hurlock done that. Asked it to other guys and made himself available, done his job of winning the ball. Yeah. You know.
Absolutely. I
don't think Ross is with us.
Somebody's in the call.
Still there.
No?
Oh, it's Bob J, sorry.
Oh, no, Bob J. The Stephen Givers, another one. Letton, Basil Bowley.
Well, big time.
You know, and
listen,
one of the best goalkeepers I've ever seen in my lifetime. I forgot about him, actually. But probably the best goalkeeper that I know. I think probably for the amount of time he stayed, Alan McGregor will maybe debate some people's eyes, but for me, Andy Gorham, outstanding. 92, 93 season, 91, 92 and all that. Andy Gorham was up there. He was the top, probably 3 or 4 goalkeepers in the world in my eyes. He was outstanding.
Absolutely.
He was tremendous. He was in tremendous form at that time, Ox, if you remember back. And Andy Gorham coming for Hibs in the start he had when the first game I seen him. Well, I think he was 2 or 3 games in a bounce. He'd done one in Ibrox in Europe. It might have been Sparta Prague or something like that. Or some team. Right. And obviously the one at Tynecastle when he thought it was going by the post when we're standing behind the goal.
Scott
Crabbe, aye. But to go in for there, I mean, Andy Gorham in goals, you could count the amount of points he used to win you in a season. And also, you could count in one hand how many times he'd maybe cost you a goal or a game in maybe 2 or 3 seasons, because Andy Gorham was pretty flawless in his time at Glasgow Rangers as a goalkeeper for the height of him. And he was another winner, somebody demanded to win and drove standards.
I bet he swore an awful lot, didn't he?
Aye. But it's about standards, and it's about having that right mentality. And he, for his time at Glasgow Rangers, he was outstanding. We paid £1 million for him for Hibs, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, there's no doubt in that. No doubt, he's a wonderful player. What great character too. Great character.
Aye,
just come back to your point about Bob J mentioned Mel Sterling. It was Kevin Drinkle who scored the other 2 goals that day. Yeah, against Hearts. 4-2-1 clinched the league. Yeah, he was away within weeks. I like Drinkle. I like Drinkle. But he led the line really well. Understanding was as soon as didn't want him to go, but he thought it was a right move for Kevin Drinkle at his age and his fitness levels. It was a good opportunity for him. Yeah, that's my understanding. Aye, it just shows you how things pan out. But we could go on all night. We digress there, Southside, yeah? Digress, but maybe we'll come back to it another night times are sharp. But I mean, do you see the Danny role? Is it an effect, or is it just we have to just keep grinding out wins and see where it takes us? Southside then, Bridgman.
I think at the moment, because of the squad he's working with and what he's asked them to do and how the squad was built for what Russell Martin wanted to achieve, as we said earlier, he's got to just try and get results out of this squad, and hopefully some of them can hit a bit for him, because a lot of them have been off for him. And the ones that he's maybe getting a chance to are coming in to get a chance. So of late, kick on. Mikey Moore's back for injury, so hopefully he just started to find a bit for him before he picked up the injury. Finlay Curtis, hopefully, will get a bit more game time and maybe start to produce. Bizrami, possibly as another one. Lyle Cameron's the one that I don't know what's wrong there. I don't know. I'll tell you this now. I did get told for really somebody that would know something. Seemingly we offered to cancel his contract before the season started, and it never came to it, which surprised me. But I get told that, and I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know. I like the wee man. I think he's a good wee player. I think, but at the moment he's not even getting. He's hardly getting on the park or in the picture of late. He's another one that's no, but the squad we've got, I just think we're giving too many chances sometimes to players that don't deserve the chances. But because they've been here that long and we're used to seeing them and they're there and they're fit at the moment, they're getting chances to play. And the one I'm thinking about off the top of my head is Diamande. I think he could easily go and sit on the bench for a few weeks, and I don't think we would really miss him. And I know he's going to be missing shortly. For this tournament coming up, but there's players in that squad that have had chances and too many chances, and have continually no brought their A game to the club and on the park at the time, but got picked probably because of experience and because we've not anybody else pushing them in their positions. And other managers have had other players out of favour and not wanting to play them. And that's the manager's choice. So I think we've got an idea, Rox. I think Danny Rowe will have an idea of the type of player he's looking for going forward in the January and in the summer. And I think we need to be a bit more ruthless again. I don't think we'll get rid of too many. I don't know, have you heard the thing about John Suter? Have we offered him a contract? Do you think would you actually give John Suter a new contract? I'll ask you that, Rox. Would you give him?
Are you asking me that question, sir?
I'm asking you, aye.
Right. Well, if you base it on this season's form, in my opinion, you wouldn't extend John Suter's contract. Right. If you're basing it on something you want to be cover for you, for value for money without going in and signing a transfer, you could maybe make an argument for extending his contract. Should John Suter be somebody that we're trying to build our team on this forum that we've witnessed this season, it would be a no for me. Bridgman?
And me, 100%. I think he's no. I don't take anything away from him at all. But I think
by the way, the sites it's coming fair a bit, but we'll see if it works out. But it's all you never know. It might be true.
Yeah, I just don't think he's. I don't want to pay him any more money. Let's put it that way. I think he's done. He's worked his contract and he's did quite well for himself. That's all I can say. There are some times he's been good, blocked a lot of shots, scored a couple of goals with corners and free kicks. But sorry, he's no my centre half, and he never has been. But our club's bought him in, so we have to, shall we say, back him. But come at the end of his contract here, for me, no, let him go. For me, anyway.
Bob Joe?
Well, I'm the same. I'm with Bridge there. He's a good player, sir. Pro international, the boy will be going to the World Cup, but no, to me, he's past his best at Rangers, and we should be getting somebody in. And here's that word again: upgrade. Somebody is an upgrade to centre half, definitely. Suter's for his time. He's done well with the club. But to me, at the end of his contract, now he can go for me.
What's your take on it, Southside?
No, I would let him go. I don't think he's kicked on. I thought he'd probably be reliable to a point. I think he gets caught out too often. He said some no bad games, right? If you look at John Souttar and you look at Giga, has Giga earned himself a chance to take the place off John Souttar? Probably no, in his performances. But no, I wouldn't be renewing his contract. I know he'll be free to talk to people in January, and that might happen, but I wouldn't be renewing his contract. I would be looking to get somebody better, and get somebody in, and hopefully we'll have an eye where it maybe be a German player or a Swedish player, a continental, whatever. I don't care, but I just think we need a better upgrade than John Souttar. I think there's always a few mistakes in him. I think he's had some no bad games in a Rangers jersey, but he's not enough for me. And I think when you're looking to extend a contract and you're possibly giving him 2 to 3 year contract, if that would be the case, then you're looking for him to be playing most weeks. You can't no point giving him that and then just say, now you'll be third choice. No. You need to, if you're going to renew John Souttar's contract or we're bringing somebody in, you want him to be the mainstay in your centre half position. And for me going forward, it wouldn't be John Souttar.
I think you've also got to look at value for cash, mate. I think this is twice running about this year. Last season and this season he's out running about Christmas time injured. And both of the injuries, I think, happened in international duty.
I think you're right.
I get it. I discourage people playing for their country, but what I'm saying is, when we're on here, we're discussing, and our priority is Rangers. So you're no good for our team. Doesn't matter how good a player you are, if you're sitting in the stand injured. And he's had his moments. Now I think he's maybe done better than people thought when we brought him in. But whether is he going to get any better? I don't think he is. He's 29, John. I think he's at the peak of his powers. He's had a few injuries. He's got a place, but is he going to be the guy that we're always confident bring the ball out and make things happen? In most of the games at Ibrox we played domestically, and is he going to get faster? The balls get played over the top when teams are just humped up the park. Well, we've witnessed it this season. You know, but only time will tell if the rumour mill pans out to be true. But I'm sure people will discuss it going forward. Southside.
Aye. Listen, probably a year ago or something, I might have thought about it and thought, okay, he's all right, but too many mistakes in him. I've seen them, and he's not imposing in set pieces or anything like that. He doesn't go and attack the ball. He doesn't score enough goals. It's on the end of things as a centre half in the area. He's got a siege mentality sometimes. He's had a few blocks in Europe. He flings his body there. I'm not saying we've watched it, and he's had a couple of really big moments in games in Europe, even last season, where the ball was going in and he managed to get a block on it and that. But listen, we're talking about moments here. We're not talking about week in, week out. He's no caught, and he's been played out of position in certain times, but his passing's terrible at times. And just because he's possibly going to a World Cup doesn't make you a wonderful player. You know, we've got a few players in that squad that might be going to World Cups, but if you look at their form this year for us, they're no world beaters. You know, so for me, I wouldn't be extending it. I know he's got the Scottish mentality and all that. I know we're trying to get some Scottish players into our team and try and bed a core of them in, but nah. I was disgusted with him after the game against that mob at Hampden. I thought he was poor, and players were out jumping him all over the place, and I just thought, nah, that's not acceptable, big man. You've got to be better than that. So no, I wouldn't be Ox. I would get rid of him. If he wants to sign for somebody pre-contract in January, then fine, let him go. Wouldn't bother me, to be honest.
Right, watch this space. You know, obviously it's pure speculation, but we'll see. The boy Fernandes, before we touched on him, Bridgeman, you were or centre-half expert. Look, he's raw. He didn't have a great game at Paradise. I thought he had a better game through the piece at Rugby Park. Without being outstanding, you know, he hasn't played a lot of football for us, so maybe he's getting a run in the team. Maybe he'll benefit for it, become better. He's got physique. He's got a ton of pace. No lightning, but a ton of pace. He's a big guy. You know, he likes a shimmy bridge. You know,
I like that. He likes that.
He give the fear sometimes, but but is there potential there, or do you think that's the peak of his powers?
At present moment, based on what I see, the present moment, I think he's worth hanging on to. I'll tell you that now. I think he's 6'5", and he's never the pre-season with us, so he's running on empty sometimes. So it's all about building that up, and it might be January, February before you see him being able to play at his best. I mean, 100% at his best, because you can see sometimes his legs are a bit hangy, and that's all it is. It's just he's no a pre-season, and he's no 100% fit, and with that comes a lot of things when you're playing professional football. There's a lot of pitfalls if you're not properly fit, and one of the ones is your second ball's a tackle, right? Simple as that. Your second ball's a tackle, and it happens all the time. You watch your team; they manage to pull the ball down, and sometimes, you know, it comes off their boot, hits their other shin, and away it goes, and we lose, or we try to tackle and we got injured. These are the things that happen.
I could never understand that. That's because you've nicknamed me Velcro because the ball just stuck to my boot. I can understand that.
Is that because everybody let you have it?
Give me my own ball, let me play me.
I love it.
I just run about and done nothing. You know, but I get you're saying, Bridge, you know, but obviously he's got that physique. I'll ask you, Southside, a slightly different question. Out the two of them, who do you prefer, Fernandes or Giga?
I would stick with Fernandes. I would keep with him. First and foremost, we've signed him, but I think he wins a lot more headers in the air and duels. And I think he just needs probably a wee bit more experience beside him that could probably guide him and help him. And Suter would probably be that player that's got the experience and stuff, but he's got a mistake in him, and you want somebody a bit more. We need centre backs, you know. We need a bit more quality in there. But so I would keep Fernandes, if I'm honest. There's a few people on the feed wondering where the Christmas night is this year in the YouTube channel. I don't know if they're wanting to tag along or no, but we'll need to leave it to the convener. I don't know if we should key it out anyway, where we're going yet, or should we?
Well, we can, but it was what a night it was on Sunday night, mate. So it was great. So if you didn't make it, sorry.
That's shocking. That's shocking, treating people like that. You can't help it, can you?
You know me, Southside. I'm very particular who I spend my nights out with. Yes.
Yeah. And we certainly didn't end up in McDonald's. I wouldn't go there if you gave me a burger for free. But we do these things early because if it gets the build up to Christmas time, a lot of people get more busier about things and stuff.
I don't know about you. I nearly ended up back at McDonald's, but it was a different kind of McDonald's. Oh dear.
Yeah, we're good old Chinky.
No, Bob J, you can't say that anymore.
Bob J.
Well, sorry,
a shocker to become manager. A shocker.
A good old Chinese meal. I'm sorry for the wee boy up the road in your Chinese. Like, you just got his leg up there.
Oh no! Tell us about it.
That's a shame for him. I says, "What's your new name?" He says, "Taiwan Shaw." Right, they get worse.
I just knew you were going to be something like that.
I just thought I'd keep that into the end.
That's nice, that one. Taiwan shoe.
You know what the Chinese is called by us time, Bob J?
Huh?
You know what the Chinese is called by us time?
What's it called?
The Orange Walk.
The Orange Walk.
Hey, he's getting worse.
I'll plug one in Uddingston. There's actually one in Uddingston that did make me laugh when I seen it, and I'll plug it because it is true. It's called the Shat Inn. In Uddingston, it's called the Shat Inn. It doesn't know about Chinese, and not to be honest. No, it does, but honestly, it's on Uddingston Main Street.
See what you've done, Bob, Jim. What you've done. Anyway, we've reached that time of the evening. Last word for your good self, Bob, Jim.
Aye, great show tonight, boys. Really good. Really good to see we're on the upbeat again with a good one of the weekend. And let's hope next Monday at this time we'll be smiling. We'll win over them from Leith. So onwards and upwards we go. And I'm barred at the local shinky because I went in and I said, "How you getting on, China?" And he put me out. So thanks for having me, lads.
Oh,
yeah.
Bob.
Thanks for having me, boys, and I'll see you all through the week. All right.
Yes.
Cheers, Bob.
We
Yeah.
put the email.
Good night.
We put the emails out for the night out. Southside. If you didn't get it, tough. That's it, innit? It's as simple as that, innit?
Well, that's it. Sometimes you go into your spam folder. You need to check. But
Sometimes you don't get sent one, and sometimes you don't get sent one.
I don't know. It sounds a bit dodgy, but Boy Electra 80s, he's just shouting they're in for the night out. But I think you've missed it.
Hope they've missed it. I think another liver. Right, anyway, last word for your good self, South.
Aye, it's good to come on and talk about a Rangers victory after the last couple of Mondays we've had to endure. Doing the show with the legend and your good self. It's always good to come on and do the show with the Bridgeman. But aye, it was good we got 3 points, and obviously we're going to European action, and then we're back in the league again. And Monday night next time we're actually on is next Monday we play at Ibrox, which is 8 o'clock kickoff, I think, probably 8 or 8:15. So that's something different again. Ibrox on a Monday night. But that's what we're getting dictated to. So it's good to be on, Ox, with your good self as always, and talking about the greatest team that we all have. So thanks for having us on, and as always, there's only one team and one crown.
Cheers, brother. Bridgeman.
Oh, what can I say, Ox? What a night. Fantastic night. Obviously, yourself, well done. And big shout out to my pal, South Shields. What am I going to say? South Side for helping me. I nearly got a different tune there. Sorry. But, and carry me through it. Magic. Can I just say to all the Bears that are listening in all over the world, huge match, but it's in about 6 days' time. Like 7 days' time, a week from now. So that's the next one. So everybody keep your chin up. And we did well over the weekend. And keep it going for the Rangers, everybody. Keep it going for the Rangers because they need us.
Remember, we've got a game on Thursday, Bridge.
Oh, you're kidding me on. Who is it?
Europe.
Sorry?
Ferencváros.
Oh, we're
big game in Europe.
Apologies at that to everybody.
A famous name for your era, mate.
Ferencváros, absolutely, pal. Absolutely, yeah.
All right,
I just give a shout out to I just say thanks to all the troops in the YouTube channel tonight, for participating and joining in the show as always. There's always loads of them in there. Come on every night when we're on the show, and always participating, stuff like that. So just thank them for joining in tonight as always. The troops on the YouTube channel.
And give my regards to your pal Joe.
There's always one that's obsessed in it. I just don't get that carry on. But anyway, you'll be famous for a night. Famous for a night.
Aye. Listen, thanks to Bob Gia and your good self and Bridge for doing the show Southside. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Always great to hear from Fox. I think everybody would like Fox to dip in and out the show more often. We always like to hear from him. Thanks for listening. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.